What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Last Monday of the year. Last Monday of the year? Not last Monday of the year. But last Monday... There is one more Monday this year, yeah. However, this is our last stream of the year. I will most likely be out of town during the end of the month. So that means that this is it for the year, which I didn't realize until just now while I was setting up stream. So the notification that went out wasn't exactly what's going on tonight. But I wanted to address what we're doing next year, a couple of the plans I have in place for next year, and then and like what my overall focus and goal is. And then I also want to talk about a little bit of what we've streamed this year and stuff like that. Obviously, this year was really different. All right, I didn't know going into the year that I was going to have to worry about working an additional job on top of both stream and regular work, right? So that took place from the start of the year, literally the 1st of January, because it was literally the last week of December that I started, all the way to I want to say end of August, end of September, actually, I think. It would have been like end of August, end of September, around that spot, and it was by force because both the cars broke down. I had no option. So I had to focus on getting one of those fixed. And to this day, still, from those months forward, there has been we fixed both cars, and then there's been another issue with both cars, and I've just fixed my car again, and there's still technically an issue with it, but it runs, right? So it's been a lot of stuff going on outside of stream, and that's just with car and work stuff. And that's not even to mention stuff like, main job work, stuff like that. And then, of course, the biggest thing that I felt that was a struggle because of all this stuff was the main channel, right? The main channel was supposed to get way more videos this year. I was supposed to have that Spider-Man series video out. I was actually supposed to have a video for Fantastic Four out right after the Superman one, but I was already late on the Superman one because I had so little time between work and stream to record my thoughts on it. And I forced myself to get that one done, and I got it done, but I was still like a couple days, if not a week late, if not longer. Because Fantastic Four was literally coming out like right after the video came out. So it was like, it might have came out the day the video came out. Honestly, that's how late we were. Speaking of late, we've got the Dispatch playthrough that was supposed to go up literally weeks ago. And ever since the encoding error, I have not messed with the editor at all. I haven't even looked at the file. It was so disheartening, I just haven't bothered. And I know I could fix it and get it up. I know it's possible. It's just really frustrating that it didn't want to cooperate. Twice, 2 nights in a row, where I didn't, and I could have gone in and taken a look at the problem the first time. I don't know why I didn't, but that's what was going on with that, alongside also the Batman playthroughs that are meant to go on the main channel as well, GTA 5 playthrough that's meant to go on the main channel, and then obviously GTA 4 when we finish it, and then Clair Obscur when we finish it. All of those are supposed to be up on the main channel as full playthroughs, and I haven't gotten any of them out yet. I haven't gotten a single one out yet, and I've felt so bad about that. It's made me so angry, right? Obviously, the only timely one is Dispatch. That's why I wanted that one out so quickly, and even then, that one's caused trouble, right? So I'm very upset about that. And then, of course, I've got other videos that were supposed to go out on the main channel that are already recorded and in the process of editing. I showed them off in the last stream where we were editing the Dispatch video. I showed off one of the videos for the series. That's a full series with at least 4 episodes recorded already that's meant to go out on this channel. We haven't recorded a single episode since, though, so I've been hesitant to get back and edit it because I'm gonna run out of episodes before the last one. I have a huge fear of starting something on the channel and then something happening to the point where there's a huge gap and then it fizzles out or I can't finish it, right? And I want to be able to finish it. I want to be able to finish this one so badly. It's literally just a matter of time. It's a time thing. It's hard to schedule things, like schedules are rough, but all of that is supposed to come out on the main channel and I haven't done any of that. And I'm very disappointed. I still absolutely have to get my top 5 video out before the year ends. That's 8 days, some of which I won't be here. So I'm probably going to record that tonight. That I need to get that out. I haven't even bothered to look and decide on what's going in my top 5, aside from Clair Obscur, which I've known was in my top 5 the whole year, right? And Dispatch is in my top 5 as well. But beyond that, I haven't thought about it, and I haven't elaborated on it. So that's something that I really need to do and get done. So that's one of the things I'm going to get done after this stream. This stream's going to be short compared to most of them. I wanted to just make sure I covered what needed to be covered, so that when I disappear for the next couple of days, it doesn't seem like the channel, like the Twitch channel's dead. It's literally just I'm off. I'm on vacation. I'll be back January 1st. What's the first stream day back? I will literally be back January 2nd. I will literally see you the 2nd of the month, that Friday. So in the time between now and then, I'm going to make sure that I get some of the stuff up on this main channel. That includes Dispatch for sure, and then the Batman Arkham Asylum playthrough should also go up before the year ends. No, sorry, not before the year ends, but by second week January at that rate. It should at least be near done by the first week of January. That is the goal. Depending on what I've got, again, I can't 100% predict, but that's my goal. I've been feeling like we've been lacking, and again, I'm selectively choosing to forget that I was working extra, and that took up most of my time, right? So I've been beating myself up as if that wasn't what was going on. For some reason, I won't allow myself to accept that that's where that time was taken up, because as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I stopped working, and even if there were car troubles, I should have been able to use that time to work on content, you know? And that's my thing, right? But again, I've had this mindset rolling in my brain for over a decade now. So it's not something that I got a hair in my mouth. My bad. That's disgusting. As I was saying, it's frustrating, but it's something that I'm just used to. That's just part of my thought process overall, is I need to be putting more out on this channel. This channel's already at about 300 videos, which means I've done the backlog strategy, which I've explained before, is making sure I have videos on the channel so that there's stuff to give you a fleshed out understanding of personality. However, with this channel, we don't have that anymore. The main channel doesn't have that right now because no playthroughs are up. There's very few videos to get personality from, and you're not going to watch my full Superman review and try to glean my whole personality from that. It's not going to happen, right? So this channel needs more personality. That's the goal. That's all it is. That's always been the goal. But this next year moving forward, I should have absolute time. And obviously, don't get me wrong. When I say this next year moving forward, it is not to say that I'm not immediately starting work on it the moment the stream ends, because there's no waiting in this period. In the time, there are a couple stream days, but before I leave town, where it will be, where I will be available. I'll be here at my desk, but I will be working on those videos because I have absolutely no choice but to get them done. And I'm tired of trying to expect myself to do it between streams right now. I just need to make sure and prove it to myself that it can be done. And once I break that mental block, I think I'll be able to do it again. Because if I haven't talked about it in a while, when I was editing the Morning Madness podcast, right? The schedule for me, right, during that time when the podcast was coming out, was to wake up, go to college classes, if I decided to go to college classes. Most of my classes were online, so it was just stuff I'd do at my desk for the most part, because it's COVID, right? Once that small period was done, right, I had to get food, obviously, right, and however I went about that, made food in the house. I did not make a lot of food because, again, there's no stovetop in the dorm, stuff like that. Going to communal areas is annoying, stuff like that. So a lot of the time it's just, go out, grab what you can, come back, eat for a second. Then I'd say, bear in mind, obviously I wake up late. I should start by saying I wake up late. I wake up about like 10, 11 ish, right? Because that's about the time my earliest class starts, the way I had it set up. But it'll make sense in a minute. So by the time I'm eating, it's about 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and I have about an hour and a half in the middle there to do like whatever for the day needs to be done. And if it's three days out of the week, at 5, I had Overwatch practice. We had practice for the Overwatch team, right? So I'd be there. Maybe it was 2 days a week because one of them was a weekend. So I'd say 2 days of the weekday and 1 day of the weekend. But I'll get to the weekend in a second. I would get up. I would go to the... I would get up. I would go to the... Why am I starting back there again? Sorry. I would get up to go to to get food, come back. If there was practice, I'd do practice. On a day there wasn't practice, I had just a little bit of time to work on either stream. I was still streaming at the time. There are streams on the second channel from that time. You can see both dorms I had. Both of them are on stream. Or edit a reaction video or make a reaction video so I could get something out, because I wanted to get something out with the time I had, right? And then once it hit not 8:30, right, which is like right an hour, like 30 minutes to an hour after practice ends on the practice days, I have work from 9 to midnight. Yeah, 9 to midnight every weekday. And so I would work that, and then I'd get home at about 12:05, 12:10, because I worked on campus. So 12:10, and then from there, I would have to edit. I would work on it. I would work on an edit for the most part. The biggest issue with the way that things started to slot in is by the time we were doing the podcast, right? I also had my weekend job, which I worked from 5 in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning, so that I had free weekend time, which to me was a terrible decision, but it ended up working out. It's fine. I had a lot of fun doing that job, overnight janitor work. It was a lot of fun. I got to really enjoy the experience. Obviously a lot of work, but still as good as it can be given the circumstances. And then on weekends, it was one practice on Saturdays or a tournament match on Saturday or Sunday, one of the days, right? And then by the time we got around to podcast, we also slotted in the podcast recording day, which I honestly can't even remember what day of the week it was, because podcast came out on Fridays. I'm fairly certain we recorded on Thursdays. I genuinely think we got up at 4 in the morning on Thursday morning. Was it 4 in the morning? We got up about 5 to 7 in the morning. One of those, something like that. I don't know. I don't have the specifics, and I'm not going to look right now. But I vividly remember we would get up early for that podcast filming. I would take that file, sit there for an hour waiting for it to transfer so I could take the file home. I would put it on a flash drive and take it back to my dorm, which, thinking back on it now, there were probably better ways to do it. As a matter of fact, there were definitely better ways to do it if I were to do it now, but like, it was just the way I knew for a fact I would get the full file and I didn't have to worry about anything. And so I would get that back to my dorm, and then I would have the end of the night to edit that. And so that's from the moment I get back from work, which is midnight, like 12:05, from 12:05 till about roughly, usually on average, 4:30, 5:30, I was editing the podcast from beginning to end. Whole video version of the podcast, still on the main channel. I love those videos. I haven't watched them back in a long time, but I think they're great. There were like 4 or 5 episodes that we never got to release because there were various issues, and it really upsets me. One with a guest from our team that I feel like was one of my least favorite things to forget. Like, one of my least favorite things to have fucked up, because I know that was the objectively the hardest thing to set up, and most like different episode compared to the rest, right? I had a lot of fun doing that. But the way my time schedule was allotted, I was genuinely breaking legs to find time to edit and get things uploaded, because I wanted to make sure stuff was uploading consistently. However, you'll notice that at that time, while things were coming out on the main channel all the time, streams were severely lacking. They would just be here and there, sparse things that I would do randomly just to play Overwatch. Like, while I was practicing Overwatch, I would stream, because that was really all the time I had to fit it in. And so there wasn't a lot I could do, right? There wasn't a lot of flexibility there, but I had time, and I made time to get edits done, right? And it's not like I don't have the ability to sacrifice some sleep. Obviously, I do get up earlier for work now than I did for school. But I do go to bed around, like, I go to bed about midnight. I get up for work about 5:30, 5:45. You can tell those numbers don't look the best, but like, even then, that's just with a little bit of time after these streams, so I have some time to either, I was gonna say time to edit, but again, we know for a fact I'm not doing that. That's time for me to decompress, basically. And I don't think that the solution is to try to keep brute forcing it. I think this next year, the big thing I need to focus on is really like maximizing the enjoyment in each specific aspect, right? The main channel needs more of the content to come out. I need to find free time in my time when I'm not streaming to work on the content for this channel. I have plans for a few of the simple videos that I can get done, and I need to work on them now. The Spider-Man 90s video is one of the ones that I've been meaning to put out. I've been meaning to do. I haven't started watching them, right? I haven't started watching them back. And so the goal is to do that before February of this year, right? That should be out on this channel before February. The full series retrospective, right? All whatever episode count. I want to say 56 episodes is probably not that long. But I did watch like a good 50% of it growing up, so I really do want to go back and talk about it because it is a big staple, like a big staple in how like I came to love superheroes and stuff like that. Second channel is doing really good at what it's doing. Second channel is doing a fine job. It just needs more shorts, and that goes hand in hand with this with the TikTok here, which is going to need to be split. I'm going to take a second channel, I guess, a second account on TikTok to do a separate style of video. I think I'll keep this one the exact same as it has been, and it'll do what it does, but there will be, actually, as a matter of fact, I'll probably switch the name on this. This one will probably be the one that, the name for the one that has the normal style content, and then the clip style content that comes out on the YouTube Shorts on the second channel will go to the one that's titled Victory Live, like the second channel. I feel like that would be the most sensible thing to do. Either way, plan is to put out content on 2 different accounts. One, I can be less. It's just like this second channel. I can be less afraid of quality being bad on this channel. And then the Twitch streams, we're gonna completely shake up how it's done. Like I said in a previous stream, I'm contemplating getting rid of Wednesdays as a whole. I think what I'm probably gonna do is just reduce Wednesdays to a half stream every week, just a guaranteed half stream, because then there's a little bit more time where I know I can dedicate it to being like, and it might be a 3-hour stream instead of a 2-hour stream, right? Because I find that we end up averaging about 3 hours instead of 4 usually, because I usually start late and I end late, and I start late and I end early, stuff like that. But I'm not super anal about it. The goal is to prioritize the fun again in the streams, right? There's a lot of things we still haven't done. We haven't done the Pokemon card opening. The Pokemon card opening, I am currently procuring supplies to make happen right now. I'm trying to get card sleeves. I don't have a binder, but I think I'm gonna get the card sleeves first. Well, actually, I would still need the binder, wouldn't I? Well, actually, no, they're top-loaded hard holders, so I think it'll be okay. But the goal is to get that, and then I need a cam link for the second camera to capture the actual opening, right? Obviously, I could just do one camera, tilt it down, and capture, but that's just not how I want to roll, right? I have a second camera for a reason. I just need to get a cam link for it. So I'm going to do that. That's how I'm going to do it. And then beyond that, like other stuff like simpler games that come out, like smaller, like obviously people play rage games and stuff all the time. People play simulator games all the time. I'm not the biggest fan of those games, of those style of games, but I appreciate all games. So it's something that I'm willing to give a try, right? Like I'm willing to go and branch out to more niche random game options, right? And obviously the winter sale's on right now. There's not a lot that stands out to me in terms of stuff that would pop up that I'd be like, oh, this is perfect for stream. But there's still a few games that I see pop up that are like, oh, okay, other people are doing this right now. I could see myself liking that. My biggest issue beforehand is I was always like, oh, other people are doing this. I'll let them finish it first. That's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. It really doesn't. I have this big fear, like I have this big mental issue when it comes to anything like internet comedy, anything like that, where recycling things just, or like there's oversaturation for me happens way too quickly, right? If someone reuses a joke that somebody else has told, no matter how we got there, I can't, like my entire, okay, sorry, I'm not going to say like I cringe and my body goes numb or something like that. It's literally just, I immediately lose all emotional reaction. There's no I'm a completely neutral reaction from that point forward, just on that. Like it's frustrating. And I don't know why that is, but I hold myself to that times 10, where it's like, if someone else is doing that shit, I'm not gonna do that shit. Why would we do that, right? That's not, and I think it's just a big build-up problem that I have to work on myself. So the goals for these next couple streams over the course of the next year is to do every single stream that I wanted to do. Like, obviously there's a lot of streams that I want to do that they're actually fairly simple. There's only a couple of like higher there's only a few like budgeted ideas that I have for stream, but I want to make stream enjoyable, and the best way to do that is to make myself enjoy what we're doing again, and not feel like, oh, I have to lock in on this game for this X amount of time in order to make sure that I'm doing things right, and I'm sitting in the right category for a long period of time. So that's not what we need to worry about. The goal is to play what I'm going to enjoy for a decent chunk of time. Maybe that's an hour minimum or whatever, but at the very least, I can worry about the thumbnail on the second channel later. I don't need it to split in half. I've proven already that I can split it as many times as I need to, and I don't need to show everything that goes on in every stream, as long as it's in the title or something. It doesn't even need to be in the title, to be honest with you, as long as it captures what's going on in that stream specifically. But the goal will be to have a little more freedom and a little more fun with it, right? I have a big habit where I cannot sit and play the same game for a long period of time, even in my free time, right? Even if I was I can't sit and play a long game for a long period of time and be on. I can't be actively speaking my thoughts. Like, I just have to kind of like low power mode and focus on the game if I'm going to do it for a long period of time. Like, I was doing GTA Online last night to try to grind to 10 mil to do the mansion stuff. I want to get the mansion so I can retire my character and finally be done with the game. I'm at 5 mil right now, and I started at 1 mil when the update came out. So I don't know how long that's been. But obviously, people who legitimately grind games and can sit there and play games for a long period of time, they can do that no problem. But for me, it's going to take me a little longer. And so yesterday, I was literally low power mode, did the KO Perico Ice, did the Dr. Dre mission, did the Dr. Dre mission again, did the KO Perico Ice again, and then payphone hits and stuff like that. And so now we're at 5 mil. And weed sales, like stuff like that. All the stuff that, like, all the motorcycle club businesses, super lucrative. Obviously, people who play the game know that already, and I don't know why that's a thing. That's part of that whole everybody's already doing it thing that comes in my head. Everybody knows people know how to do this better than I do. That's not the point. I don't need to caveat with that every time, and yet I do, right? Anyways, all of that is to say that I wanna try splitting up some of the games on stream some more. We're gonna finish Arkham Knight, but we are not going to lock ourselves into doing Gotham Knights or Spider-Man or Ultimate Alliance. Any of those will be, if we so choose to pick it up, we can pick it up, but I have to be very committed to doing it, and I don't want to juggle so many games that I'm juggling 4 story games at a time with 3 stream days like I'm doing right now. we actually have 3 stream days and 3 story games, I think, right? We've got Arkham Knight, we got GTA 4, we got Claire Obscure. There's no other story games that we're playing right now, right? Yeah, no, that's fine. But like my point being, though, having all 3 days be locked to a story game for this first half of the stream is a little rough, right? And I tried it. I've tested it. I've thought it through. I've thought about it a lot. Trust me. It's literally all. By the way, this is literally all I think about when I'm not doing when I'm doing other stuff, right? When I'm doing other stuff, there's a good chance like every 10-minute interval, I have thought about something related to the stream or the main channel, second channel, TikTok, Twitch, whatever. There's a good chance I've thought about it twice in every 10-minute interval. Another 10 minutes passed, I've just thought about something else, right? Oh, I could change this for stream. Oh, this on the second channel needs to be done. Oh, by the way, I should probably upload something on the fucking main channel. Stuff like that constantly. So next year, the goal is to appease that thought a little more and try to translate that into material, not material, but like physical results. Results is what we need, right? Because I have seen all the work. That's not gonna matter. It's the physical results here, because I have looked at this channel multiple times and I can never look at the channel and go, what video do I want to pull from this channel if I had to show somebody? There you fucking go. Answer is no. I don't have one. I'm gonna show you what, the Superman video? the next best thing I can think of that's on that channel, the D&D short was fully myself done, but except for that opening clip, which was stolen. The video footage was stolen, but and I lost all that footage. Like, I couldn't continue making that, which was frustrating. Beyond that, what? We didn't finish the Metal Gear Solid playthrough. I don't know if the Metal Gear Solid playthrough is even on the main channel anymore. There's a couple videos that still need to be greenlit for the main channel again that I haven't gone back through and edited because there's still so many of them. But a lot of them are just kind of slop videos in comparison to my quality bar now, right? And my quality bar has grown as time has gone on, and the reaction content now disgusts me in terms of how it was done, especially the layout. The layout pisses me off. Anytime I open a video and it's not me on camera in this aspect, and it's literally the be right back screen with a little bit of with like the little cameras in these spots, that pisses me off. I don't know why I thought that was ever a good idea. I literally just gotten the stream assets, and I've learned from them. I've learned since then. But all of this is to say that next year is the goal to overhaul everything, right? If I'm lucky, and if I'm able to make and put in progress to get recording on any of my biggest budget ideas for this main channel, because again, production is key nowadays, which is one of the reasons I'm not super keen on I'm not super keen on the modern idea of pushing for success on these platforms anymore. It's different. I like the old school ideals of success, if that makes sense, right? Like, the goal is to be a gaming creator, right? Sure, I'll go out and do stuff if that's something that's wanted, right? I'll go to gaming events, stuff like that, if that's what people want to see. But for the most part, I play games. I love video games. I'm here to talk about and experience and enjoy and gush about and react to and explain video games, right? That's what I'm here for. So stuff that I can confirm for next year already right now is the Pokemon card opening stream will happen next year. What part of next year? Definitely the first half, I'll tell you that much. The second half, or not the second, well, you know what? By the second half of the year, I want to do a stream where I get one of those, I don't know if I could get one through the door, one of those metal DDR platforms, or any non-plastic matte version of it. I want to get it in here for a stream. I don't know how much it would cost to rent one. I haven't looked into that at all, but that's one of those streams that I want to do just because I think it'd be fun, right? On top of that, once I get the second link, cam link that for the Pokemon card opening, I will have a camera up way up here, which will be able to capture the VR content better. And with an upgraded computer, we'll be doing more VR streams, right? Which includes Beat Saber and many other things, right? But the main goal there is to be able to capture that properly. Obviously, I show up right here in any of the VR streams, and I'm fairly well captured, right? I've had a couple of things that I wanted to try that could be better, like letting it use NVIDIA's tracking to follow me, stuff like that. I think I've done that in one stream, and it worked out pretty well, but I don't remember which one it was. And it was definitely before I moved in here. But I just want to have another camera option. It'll make things so much easier. And having a computer upgraded, an upgraded computer, will be able to run VR on stream without issues, and I can finally have the peace of mind not having to worry about that, right? I was debating today on whether or not to re-add thermal paste to my CPU because the computer gets hot pretty quickly when running anything, right? Which is normal if you don't you need to put thermal paste on your CPU after a while. After a while, it's not going to keep working, right? If you want to cool a lot of times you can solve a lot of your trouble by reapplying thermal paste to your CPU. However, I already know that my CPU itself is the bottleneck in the system, and I know that if I unscrew the CPU, if I unscrew the Cooler Master CPU fan that I have on top of it, the entire motherboard's gonna go down, because those screws between the Cooler Master cooler and the backplate might just be the only screws that are still in the motherboard, because I don't know where the fuck they went, but I lost all of, not the screws, I lost the little screw holders that I didn't know existed in the back, right? Because bear in mind, I'm 14 when I'm doing this, right? And I've done everything on the top of the computer, but the moment I get down to the actual motherboard itself and I have to move a motherboard or replace a motherboard or change something like that, fuck, I got no idea. Nowadays, I'm much more equipped to do it. I'm going to be fine doing the next build. So much so that I will probably do the build on stream. But if I take that Cooler Master cooler off and the whole motherboard drops out of the, by the way, it won't drop down because there's not very much room here. It'll drop down like that. Like the flat bit will go down and bend at the inserts. And considering the graphics card is also kind of hanging there, it would probably just hang from the graphics card. And that might fuck the graphics card, which I still plan on using, because if I upgrade the computer, I'm going to put this graphics card in the computer in the other office for my girlfriend, because she plays games that are just as graphically intensive, if not more graphically intensive than mine. And her CPU is better than mine. So she can make the most out of it with just the GPU upgrade. I need the full rig replaced, and I also need the rig bigger and more open for modulation moving forward, because this case is I've been working with a micro ITX case. It's a smaller case than standard size, and I've been trying to solve the problem of working with new modern age graphics cards with that small size. And that this 30, I have to use Founders Edition's cards. That's what I've said this before. I have to use Founder Edition's cards, which sometimes cost more, sometimes cost less, depending on how lucky you get. But I'm stuck trying to find one specific version of a GPU that would, especially moving beyond the 30 series, are already hard to find, right? So it's like, it's annoying. But when it's finally done, I'll have so much peace of mind knowing that that's all good. As far as the one thing I gotta figure out, because this cooling is great and all, but fan cooling is not always going to be the best solution in this room unless I get another fan in here. I've got a fan running right now, but this is not my fan. It's my girlfriend's fan, and she needs it back eventually. She's just not in her office right now. But I'm gonna get the exact same fan at some point, so that this room can be cooler, because right now I feel fine, even though it's probably 79, 80 degrees in here. And I'm gonna be able to improve the overall quality of the streaming setup, because the biggest issue during streams is how hot it gets in here. And then I'm also going to take some time at some point to overhaul the about section under the stream on Twitch, because not only are the panels old and ugly looking compared to my standards now, they're also bot textures, and I can just make better ones probably. And I also want a little section in there that covers the pre-stream bit, the coming back section in the middle, because I want people to know that that is the only break in the stream, is the middle of the stream, so that you're not seeing me get up and break multiple times throughout the stream. However, you may see me get up and out of the chair, but if I don't hit the be right back screen, I'm coming back in a minute. Usually the only time I do it is when I'm queuing for something. And usually by the time I get back, I'm already queued into the match. And if I'm not, like it's Overwatch and we're waiting a little while, I'm going to be back before the queue is up. You just gotta hope that the queue's not... I'm not gonna be gone long. I'm gonna assume at all times that the queue is 1.5 minutes. I'm not going to get up for a long period of time. But I do want to allow myself to be able to move a little more freely during some of these streams, so I will be getting up on stream in camera while the camera's still running, but I won't be going to the be right back screen except for that middle bit of the stream. That's the only time a break will ever go beyond like 3 minutes. And 3 minutes is already a long time if I get up and I'm not changing the screen, right? But I want to open things up and be a little more free and loose with it, because that's overall the biggest goal, is to have fun with it. Does that cover everything? Does that cover everything I'm thinking about? I think it does. Obviously, I've got the series that I'm excited to get done on this main channel here. If it's finished and we had a good enough time, we'll have a second, a follow-up one for it, which I'll be very excited for. But both are really enjoyable. I can't wait to talk about it. Again, I've showed it off on the previous stream. It is drinking related. It's really cool. Again, I don't drink, so that makes this even more fun, because it is even more of a punishment for myself. But it's made things interesting, and it's a video type that I've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm very excited to put that out there. I just want to be able to get it done, and I want to have the time to do it. So that's overall the goal. I want to have the stuff out. I want to get it out. And the sooner I get all of that stuff out, all of the backlog of stuff out, I can do other things. I can focus on getting like the bigger, more high budget videos in line, right? If I need to go somewhere to film a video, I can get that lined up more confidently, right? Because I'm not gonna, and again, that's a mental block, but I'm not gonna make the first video back after a huge gap, a huge high budget video. There's gonna be a small buffer video in between at least, right? And again, that's a me thing, right? I have all these weird roadblocks in my head of what makes a good content stream, and I'm starting to switch over my mindset, considering I've been someone who still consumes YouTube content, and I have for the last, as long as I've been doing YouTube, I've been watching YouTube, if that makes sense. I was uploading videos on Facebook and I don't know what other site, but I was uploading videos online before I knew about YouTube. Not before YouTube existed, but before I knew about YouTube as like other people can upload whatever gameplays there, right? I was playing Ratchet and Clank on Facebook and on other platforms. And then I started uploading on YouTube. So, I've just always, I need to switch over from all these made up rules I've had in my head to the viewer side of me and what I would like to see a little bit as well. And I think that'll make things a little bit better for everybody, right? Because a lot of the time I'm thinking like, oh, okay, well, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't want to see a content creator do this. But the thing is, the big thing that I'm missing, and the thing that I'm forgetting, is that there are no expectations or rules or things set up right now yet, because I'm trying to operate like we got a whole business level of stuff to take care of. And I just don't have, that's just not a thing, right? That's not something to worry about. We need to treat it like what it is. We need to treat it like what it is, a grassroots growing channel that is meant to just be growing slowly but surely, right? That's all it needs to be, right? And that's all it's ever needed to be at this point, right? My goal, like I think I used to say back in the day, my goal at the end of the day is to put one gold plaque behind me. That's that point I've gotten what I need. I've gotten what I would be proud of as a kid, right? And that's the thing. At that point, that's when I'm comfortable going, okay, we can stress less and we can do more, hopefully. But if we don't do more, it's all right, right? Because right now, it's like a big thing in the air for a lot of creators. Sorry. A big thing in the air right now for a lot of creators is the hanging up the coat, is it worth it in the modern day of creating, to keep making content, to start streaming now would be insane for a lot of people, right? And that's why you build up on other platforms. But to be someone who has built up on other platforms for a decade and it doesn't translate because the effort doesn't match the input, right? The perceived effort is not matching the resulted product, right? And so over time, we've rebuilt, we've come and back to the drawing board more times than I can count, and I've reassessed what needs to be done, right? This channel is like set to be amazing. It just needs funding, right? There are pages upon pages upon pages of documents of ideas, half of which are still luckily ones that haven't been done. One of my top ones that was on here just got done as a Habby video. Habby147 did one that was on my list for a long period of time, the shooting video. I still think I could do something a little bit. I haven't watched the full video yet, so maybe he does exactly what I had planned, which it's not a hard concept to come up with, but I had that plan since the college streams. I was going to do it during the college stream. I was going to go during college because I had full unrestricted access to VR. Only thing that was stopping me, I couldn't afford to pay to go to a range. Isn't that crazy? I also wanted to wait to shoot against Jorge, our best buddy, who is like trained military, and I think that would make the video even better. So waiting those years until we were able to see each other again once he was off deployment and I was out of college. By then, I had even less money to work with because I had to pay for where I was staying, right? And I needed to be able to, and I had less time because I needed to work constantly to make that happen, right? And so the ideas just get swept under and you just lose them, and it's really frustrating. But I've still got a couple on there that are still not been done before and are still ones that I'm proud to work on and I'd be proud to do. They're just moderately, they're not even high budget videos. They're just high budget to me, which is like $1,000 would do every single one of these ideas. Every single one of those ideas is under 1,000. The most expensive one, probably 1,200. And I could do that one. I mean, it's Christmas right now, so I mean, hell, I could probably do that one still, even though it's Christmas time, this week. I could do it this is Christmas week. Shit, maybe not. I could do it next week. That's one of those things. Like that's where we're sitting with this channel. But because I have so many of those ideas stocked up, the perceived effort on this channel is so much higher. The rules and restrictions I've given it do not fit the actual resulted value, if that makes any sense. This channel, if anything, fits that resulted value much more because it's doing what I want it to do. Right? And all this channel needs is shorts, and this channel is going to blow. This channel was blowing like crazy when I had shorts coming out on this consistently, which is also when shorts were coming out, or when TikToks were coming out on TikTok. It was a foolproof oiled machine, but then I had to work the second job. And so taking all of that stuff that I've learned over this is this our second year of streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or is this our third year? We started Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at the end of 2023. So this is our second full year. Tonight is the last stream of our second full year of doing every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5:30 to 9:30 PST, which is something to be proud of. Genuinely, that's 150 streams a year. That's 300 streams in the last 2 years that we've done. That's crazy, right? Out of the 500 streams I've done in the time that my channels existed, that's still a huge chunk. A lot of that time is just packed in right here. That's days, if not months of streaming, right? And that's something to be proud of. This next year, I'm going to take all of that I've learned from these 2 years, plus all of the stuff that I have been building over the last decade, and I'm going to hopefully take it and run with it. I'm going to treat this next year like it's the last year we've got, because while it most likely won't be, I will continue to stream even the year after that, most likely. Because I've tried in my head simulating the process of not doing it. I can't. I always end up going, oh, I would love to stream. Oh, I'd love to record this. Oh, I'd love to upload this. I'd love to make a video about this. I'd love to talk about, like, it's always a thing. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. I can't remove that. So I need to make this next year, I need to treat the next year like it would end, though. And hopefully that'll make it much better. And so that's the plans for the next year. 2026 will be interesting. 2025 was supposed to be everything that 2026 was going to be, but then we had the second job. So now, and again, I can't stress enough, second job, main job, then stream. The stream does not count in that equation. So to move from this into a year that doesn't have that restriction, my goal is to make all of these things work at least enough to have the ball rolling for at least a couple months, like to where I can say, okay, there was a consistent steamrolling progress. The train pushed along a little bit. There was enough steam to push the train just a little bit for a short period of time, and I can be proud of that, right? That's the goal. That's the minimum goal. And I think that's something I'm gonna be excited for going forward. So anyways, that is everything that we have planned going into the next year. Thank you to everybody who tuned into the stream over the course of this year. Thank you especially to the regulars. Thank you to Artemis. Thank you to Kano. Thank you to Winters. And thank you to Nick. Thank you to both Winters and Nick for being here during the year to be people to jump off of and raid to, and always being best friends of mine, of course. Very thankful to have them. Very thankful to be working on a series with them. Very thankful to be working on other things with them moving forward. And just happy that they're supportive and around, and that makes things great. And especially thank you to Kano and Artemis, who have been regular supporters in the chat and subscribers, the only two existing subscribers on the channel as well. Thank you guys for existing. Thank you guys for being here for what I constantly call history in the making, which does look worse and worse the longer it goes, I guess, but Anyway, I'll make it pay off eventually. No matter what, it'll pay off. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. Always nice to have people here to bounce off of in chat and have people to come watch on the VODs on Twitch or on the second channel Victory Live. Always nice to see you. Feel free to check out the streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of 2026 from 5:30 to 9:30 PST. Wednesdays maybe from 5:30 to 7:30 PST. We'll see. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just check the schedule, and I'll see you guys there. And if you're watching on the VOD on Twitch or on Twitch right now, go check out the second channel Victory Live for our VODs every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 p.m. PST, so you're always caught up and you never miss out on what we're doing. That's going to be it for me tonight. I'll see you guys at the start of next year. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll see you guys, Happy New Year even, and I'll see you guys on the 2nd. Take care, and peace. Give them a song they deserve, please. That's a little better. All right. Good night, everybody. Happy holidays. Take care.
Gonna make a fresh start, crush another heart, same time as I left you at the door. Is that a bad stuff for us? I don't mean to disenchant you, my loving counterpart. 'Cause there will be pain, there will be scars. Somehow some freak